17th of August 2020. Good morning from Europe. Good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are. Piotr here, this is Light Forex Global YouTube channel. It's my pleasure to make the European market update for you. We are going to start with the gold, following by the silver, then depends on what amount of the time is going to leave. We will try to go through few more charts. So without the further delay, let's start right here, right now. All right, guys, so after huge move to the upside on gold, after break of 1800, after break of 1950, finally gold hit 2070, more or less 2070, and last week we've seen some kind of the correction. Now the question is if it's correction only or some kind of the bigger move to the downside. Why I'm talking about this? Because everyone and his dog right now wants to buy the gold. Well, I'm not saying, just to be perfectly clear, I'm not saying that we are changing the direction yet. What I'm saying, a little bit more painful moves to the downside could be in place. So let's call it maybe bigger correction, all right? And few things have to happen to see another higher record, right? Higher levels. So what happened last week, especially on Wednesday, am I right? Friday, on Tuesday, I'm sorry. Is it correct? 11th of August. The move to the downside, this huge move to the downside, that particular candle, we broke through the latest demand, and that's the significant development. Why? Because look, guys, what happened, right? Thursday, Friday, attempt to go higher, and we stopped at the place where we expect demand last time. After the zone being broken, right now, that's the first level of possible supply, right? And we've seen there are a little bit of the problems. Of course, we have to get back above that particular zone, so meaning that we have to get back above 1980 on the gold for bulls to renew upside pressure, right? And in that case 2070 could be the next target, meaning that we are going to finish the business when it comes to the swing high seen lately, right? When it comes to the gold. So that's how I see the things. So for now, what we might expect when it comes to the gold? Well, I'm not gonna be surprised if we are going to see the bigger correction, as I mentioned, a little bit more of the pain based on possible 1, 2, 1, right? In that case, this very narrow consolidation, which after the break to the upside has not been tested, could be targeted. And with this base 1 to 1, 1820, 1780, that could, based on the daily chart, that could be targeted, right? So in that case, I'm going to watch very carefully because either we already have the high of the day and we might go lower based on these upper shadows. That's something we are going to discuss with one of the next educational videos, right? Or maybe we are going to retest 1975 again. So let's switch a little bit lower to the hourly chart and let's have a look what we have here, right? If we are going to follow the same rules we were discussing gold on a daily chart, all right, with this 1 to 1 we should hit some more stops So maybe the levels above 1965 to hit 1975. Again, here we have from the lower time frame very similar setup when it comes to the levels, right? So in that case, we might hit 1975 and from here move a little bit lower. From the risk reward point perspective, short term of course is in favor of the sellers. So that's how I see the gold. Again, 1975, 1980 is a key from the bull's perspective. Daily close above could renew upside pressure. Now, silver, daily chart, all right. Nice move to the upside on the silver, right? Maybe weekly is gonna be better because we are going to get some levels. All right. So what happened to the silver from the weekly chart perspective? We move above significant level, as you can see to the left, right? The 2650 was the significant. We went as high as 30. Current pullback, right, is a very danger right now because the bulls should step in right here, right now. All right, we should see stepped in right here, right now to renew upside pressure. Otherwise, guys, otherwise, the move we've seen here, right? It could be the move we already had and following what happened after, right? It could end up same way we see here, right? So this 2650, 26 is very, very important level when it comes to what we have, what we see on the silver right now. So let's switch to the daily chart. All right, let's switch to the daily chart, and here in comparison to gold it looks much better. It sounds and looks much better from the bull's perspective. Why? Because the demand is still holding. The demand zone is still holding. So we hit demand and we've seen quite aggressive rally off that level, right? So we've seen the market reacted into that possible demand, that very, very positive, that also showing that the for now, of course, it might easily change, but it's showing that, for example, if you wanna be long on the commodities, maybe silver. If you wanna be short on the commodities, maybe gold, because of what we are discussing when it comes to the charts, right? So if I would like to, what I would like to see is, I would like to see retest, but I don't want to see one-to-one full move, right? I want to see just retest, confirmation of this swing low, all right? So I want to see just the retest confirmation and move higher. If I would be buyer here, that's what I would like to see. Any kind of the move below of that lower shadow, right, might provide the chance that the bears are going to take over here, right? If we are going to discuss one-to-one, similar to gold, then levels close to 20 could be targeted on silver. So silver, we should hold 2650, 26 to see higher levels. All right, let's go further. We have 2 minutes more, maybe. Palladium. Palladium, after huge monster sell-off, right? We were not able to cross the 62 fib level, third retest and another rejection, right? What I'm talking about, well, let me show you. Yeah, that's the first rejection over here, second, and lately last week another upper shadow. So looks like for now the supply is very aggressive around 2300, 2350. That also the latest place from where we went higher. So I'm not quite surprised. So that's where the sellers are. What about the buyers? For now I see the buyers around 2000. All right, so look, it's a 15% range. It's quite nice range, and if you can take the opportunity of that, right, that's 15% possible to trade. I'm not saying that it's the full 15%. It's possible to take, because there is no way you are always be able to sell the top and buy the bottom, right? But that's 15%. In case of the break, one of the consolidation side, all right, so we have like $300, we might see 2600, and that's gonna be retest of that particular supply. So it's some kind of the natural after the upside break eventually. All right, if we are going to see the downside break, we might see 1750, 1700. So we are talking about the lows over here, right? So for now I would say trade the range unless we are going to see the break downside, break upside based on the daily chart. Next one, platinum. All right, and here we were discussing, if you remember, we were discussing the move back above 775 800, right? Since then there is nothing, just upside and 1000 being tested. Okay, now from here we might either see the pullback and retest of this over under around 800, so healthy 20% pullback could be in place. So overall, if you use your imagination, then the inverted head and shoulders could be in place. In that case, if that was 575 1000, so around 1400 1500 could be upside target, meaning that for sure we would be able to close that particular gap and retest the high of that particular chart, right? It could also be that if everyone is going to talk about the inverted head and shoulder, right, it might not materialize. We might go straight with the V formation with some tiny pullback and continuation. That could be the case as well. So I would be very, very careful watching the chart. I like one thing, that it's, guys, you have to do your own research. You have to do your own research. But there is one particular place on that chart telling me that this inverted head and shoulder might not be tradable. Why? We have on the weekly chart this very good looking last weakness, and after the break over here, the very next week it was retest and higher. So watch 900 865 as possible support, possible demand here. So it, as I mentioned, it might not be the inverted head and shoulders, right? It could be much more aggressive move, of course, as long as the positive commodity sentiment remain live when it comes to the market. All right, guys, it was my pleasure to make the update for you. I'm going to get back closer to a US session. That's it from me. Don't be trapped, guys, and see you around. Thank you, take care, and goodbye.